We often hear about the brain drain, our best and brightest leaving Jamaica in search of opportunities abroad. Today it's a different story. She has graduated from Princeton University, but she has returned home. Why? Let's find out. My guest is Dr. Avery Barnett. Welcome to Mind Over Matter, Avery.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
Yes, it's a pleasure. And welcome back home.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so before we talk about your return, tell us a little about yourself.
All right, so hello everyone. My name is newly minted Dr. Avery Barnett, born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica. What do you want to know?
What was your home life like?
My home life, I would say I come from very supportive parents. Both my parents are engineers, and I guess you'll find out soon that I did not become an engineer. So that was an interesting jump in the family lineage, but very supportive. I was able to do the different sports. I did swimming for some time, track. Found my home in gymnastics for several years.
Gymnastics, what?
Yes, ruined my back.
Oh no!
But really enjoyed doing gymnastics when I could. And I went to a very proud alumnus off Malines Road.
Okay.
And then I transitioned from there to Immaculate Conception, where I did grade 7 to 11, didn't do sixth form. And at Immaculate, that's where I was able to explore a bunch of different subjects, figured out what I liked, what I didn't like, and the discipline was kind of strict.
Yes.
So I would say Immaculate really was did a lot of work in molding me into the person I am today and instilling that hardworking discipline is needed to get a PhD.
So I assume you did at Immaculate?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I would say so. I would say so.
I would say so. People usually say, I would say so, they have 10 C-Sec.
Yeah, yes. I do have 19 C-Sec.
What? I'm saying 10?
I do, but it wasn't done all at once.
Okay.
I did 13 in grade 11, but I started taking them in grade 8.
Okay.
I was a bit bored at school, and so my mom was like, oh, do you want to try this out? I was like, sure. And then I looked at the subjects, and then me just all over the place. I'm still all over the place in my interest. So I was like, oh, this looks fun, this looks interesting. And then by the time we list it out, it's like, oh, I'm at 18. Why not just make it 20? Never made it to the 20. Never made it to the 20. Couldn't do accounts to save my life. But we got to the 19.
Okay. So you're always a science student. You loved science?
I do like the sciences. Okay. I would say at Immaculate or growing up, physics was my favorite science. But my actual favorite subject, I would say, was actually food and nutrition.
Really?
If the science thing don't work out, I'm going to be a chef. So spent a lot of time in the FN lab at school. I don't know. That was my bread and butter. That was my bread and butter during high school. But yeah, I like the sciences, but I call myself an interdisciplinary individual. I wouldn't fully identify solely as a science student or a STEM student. I dabble in the music, I dabble in the social sciences, the humanities. I like learning languages and stuff like that. So I like to be a bit all-rounded. What is that? A jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
I'm a master of nothing.
No, like you're a master at everything. Okay.
But we dabble. We do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, mix and mingle. And that keeps me interested in what I'm doing. Because if you just give me the same thing over and over and over again, I'm bored. I'm bored. Don't miss me with that.
Yeah. So after Immaculate, you got a scholarship?
No, I got significant financial aid to attend undergrad at Grinnell College, which is a small liberal arts school in rural Iowa in the U.S. Yes, the school population is about the same size as Immaculate. So it's like 1,700 students about at Immaculate, 1,700 students at Grinnell. And so it's a very small school. Funny enough, I was not the only Jamaican there. There were like 5 of us.
So you had that little support.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so how was Grinnell College?
Grinnell,
how was that?
It was
experience.
It was a transition, to say the least. Coming from Jamaica, coming from call it city life, town life, where I just go wherever I need. If I want to park somewhere, there's options. And then now I'm in Iowa, and there's nothing much to do. Farmland, yes, you could smell the manure and stuff like that. In the farmland, not that much things to do. It's cold. Lord, it's cold. And so that was definitely a transition, as well as culturally navigating that, being Jamaican and then interacting more in depth with Americans. I've visited America, but I'm always with family, and to be kind of on my own, trying to navigate this new social dimension was rough.
So what was that like? Yeah.
I would say, honestly, if I'm being candid, in my first 2 years, my first year, I was really thinking about transferring. I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
No.
The people are not used to the social expectations. The classes, the coursework was fine. Ultimately, I opted to stay because my professors were really impactful for me. And it would just hurt me too much to have to go to them and be like, can you write me a recommendation to leave? So I would say the professors were really the ones that were like, let me stay.
Encourage you to stay.
Let me stay. They didn't even say anything to encourage me to stay. It was just that they made the environment welcoming enough for me to want to, because it was like, physics is hard. Physics is hard. And so it was me every day in the professor office going through the problem set, asking questions every single day. And she had a very open door policy. If I pop in, Professor, and we go on the board and we do the coursework. There was a lot of effort being put into trying to get that degree, them being willing to work with me
so
in that
it was
way.
a really supportive
Exactly. Which I was like, I don't know if you'll get this everywhere.
So what would you say were some of the most valuable lessons that you learned at Grinnell?
At Grinnell, I would say 1, use all the opportunities you have available to you. Take advantage of the things put in front, because that is not promised for tomorrow. You don't know when you'll ever get access to those types of things again. So this includes, for me, I went to a lot of conferences. I learned a couple instruments because it was free to learn.
I'm doing physics.
Huh?
I'm doing physics.
Yeah,
get the time to do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm interdisciplinary. I can't just do one thing at a time. It just doesn't work for my brain. Getting access to different job opportunities there, like on and off campus, and utilizing the networks available to get to where you want to get to in the future. That was definitely one of the big things for me. And I think another lesson is that you're free to chart your own path. Grinnell, for reference, is a liberal arts school. Everybody gets a Bachelor of Arts. There's no engineering there. No professional, no grad school. It's an undergraduate only institution. And so one thing that they really push to us is that your degree, what you get your degree in, it's important but not so important, because whatever you get, you can take that anywhere. I have physics. But even though I have physics, I could have become a musician. I could have become this. I could have become that.
Yes.
You're not limited by what your degree name is. Yes.
That's very good. So were you calling home often, or trying to
texting every day? And I would go home often as well. I made sure to go home every summer if I could, as well as every Christmas, because I did not want to miss Christmas. You have to re-up. There's no Jamaican food in Iowa. There's not really much that reminds you of home. So if I can go home and can get reminded of home, and the plane fare money was right, then I was home, even if it required me to sleep in the airport overnight and take 3 connecting flights. I was going home.
All right, so you did your degree in physics.
Yes.
And then it was off to Princeton.
Yes.
All right, so tell me about that Princeton
that transition.
Yes.
I did not stay in physics.
Yes, because you were in public
affairs. Yes. It's interesting, this is a running theme.
Yes.
Do one bag of things. Yeah, so going from physics to public affairs, and I was specifically in the science, technology, and environmental policy cluster. So it has a bit of like that STEM edge, but also doing my physics degree, And even though it's liberal arts and I've taken one bag of other different topics and areas, I had no policy experience, no policy background, no policy classes. I took a little bit of econ classes, and that's what I'm working with. So the transition to Princeton, oddly, was a bit easier than I expected. Coursework-wise, because they still have the STEM focus, econometrics. I was taking engineering classes because that's what my research is focused on, or focused in. And I think the biggest jump for me was having to write a lot. Going from physics classes where the maximum number of pages you're doing is 10-page essay, and now these professors here want 30. 20, 40-page essays, and then also writing a whole dissertation. So figuring out how to write a lot and kind of flesh out my ideas and those types of dimensions was the biggest jump for me. Challenge. I think it was beneficial for me to have gone directly from undergrad into grad school from a coursework perspective, because I was still in that mindset. A lot of people in my program, they've worked for a couple of years and are now returning to school, and that whole coursework type mindedness, it was a bit relatively more difficult for them than it was for you. So the coursework I found to be relatively okay. I think Grinnell set me up very well to be able to handle rigorous scholarship and do the homework and all of that. Plus, now I'm in grad school, so you want good grades, but you don't have to kill up yourself to try and get like all A's or anything like that. So that took a lot of pressure off of it. I would say the biggest thing for me going to grad school, I was like, oh my gosh, I have time to watch TV again. That's kind of, I just didn't want the undergrad. There was just no time, in the coursework and campus jobs and trying to do professional development and keep up the GPA and this, that, and the other. There was just no time to relax and have time for myself on a daily basis. And so going to grad school, I was glad to get that back in my life.
Why you chose Princeton though?
Okay, Princeton, several reasons. Firstly, a lot of grad schools, you are tethered to some extent to the research of your advisor or to what the lab group is doing based on the funding, based on the program setup, etc. That was not the case with Princeton. At Princeton, I had the flexibility and I had the flexibility to do whatever I wanted. And so it was very near and dear to me that my research focused on the Caribbean, and I was able to do Caribbean work, which is a function that I would not necessarily have readily available at other institutions, or I would have to have carved a little minute space into this wider research project that somebody else's own to be able to pursue that. So that's one of the big things for me. Two, I did speak to my potential advisors in advance, as well as a couple of people who I would be in the same lab group with, and it was all good vibes. There were programs that when I spoke to the professor, or I spoke to the lab group, I was like, actually, this is not a good fit for me culturally. And so they were off the list. And then lastly, very important, Princeton was offering the most, the largest stipend. And that was, it was the largest stipend, and it was on the similar time zone as Jamaica. And proximity to family, proximity to the Jamaican diaspora, whether it be like my mom's friends or other people I know. It was, the overall package was just a bit, it was the best. Yes, it's more tailored to me. It was the best fit overall. Although, yes, some other schools, the coursework itself would have been a bit more, I think, better for what I was trying to accomplish. But the overall package was definitely miles better what the other schools were putting forward for me.
All right. So your dissertation.
So my dissertation is titled Thinking Big in Small Islands, Resilience Frameworks for a Clean Energy Future in the Caribbean.
It's a mouthful.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So break it down. What was that research about?
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I haven't looked at my research because I'm relaxing, but I still know what I did. So basically my dissertation was broken down into 3 chapters. My first chapter, I looked at the my first 2 chapters actually, I looked at the feasibility of an Eastern Caribbean power pool. So that means, what if we interconnected the electricity grids of the islands of the Eastern Caribbean, so things like Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada, etc., via subsea cables. And I looked at that from both a socio-political, geopolitical lens by doing interview work with energy stakeholders, as well as a techno-economic feasibility lens by actually doing the modeling and assessing, okay, what's the benefit of interconnection versus no interconnection, and how does that relate with the clean energy targets that the region has. That's my first 2 chapters. And in the last chapter, I developed a hazard model to estimate grid vulnerability under hurricanes. And with that, that's just to assess, okay, where does the grid break? Where does it hold under a Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, etc. And so this is to help inform better grid planning moving forward, whether it's for the current grid or future grids, given the clean energy targets that Jamaica has and, you know, the wider world has as well. Yeah, so that's just in a nutshell. In a nutshell.
Wow. All right, I think the title had something about resilience.
Yes.
And what does resilience mean in that? Does it mean does hurricanes and...
So resilience is more than just natural hazard resilience. So that's a component of it for sure, making sure that when things want to mash up your grid can hold. Yeah. But also resilience in terms of energy independence and not being reliant on external forces, external markets. And that was the crux for the Eastern Caribbean power pool. So instead of relying on imported natural gas, for example, or imported fuel, we can leverage the resources that the Caribbean already has, and through shared partnerships and regional integration, we can achieve the clean energy targets together rather than try and do things individually.
Oh,
so it's definitely a very integrationist mind, very optimistic about us as Caribbean people coming together and working together to achieve our common goals. And so, yeah, that's why I'm like, it's not just natural hazard, it's also making sure that we're able to utilize our resources to lower our electricity prices, and also we're not as susceptible, so to speak, to global shocks, pandemic, etc. What's happening right now, why the gas prices are through the roof. Yeah.
But Jamaica, and we're kind of individualistic.
Yes.
Do you think that we could get together as the Caribbean and work on these issues? You think so?
I think when it comes to Jamaica's part, there is definitely a lot more work to do in terms of Jamaica coming in relative to the Eastern Caribbean, where they already have the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. And a lot of it really depends on who's in political power, the mandates that they want to put forward, as well as overcoming some of the historical scars that the region has faced in terms of trying to be integrationist, thinking about the West Indies Federation, or even issues that have been going on with CARICOM, for instance. And so I think there would be a lot of work to be done. I'm not going to hold you on that. It's potentially possible. I think once the right policies are in place, agreements are in place, and ensuring that everyone is committed and not, okay, in two minutes you're going to not pull out or something like that. Somebody's going to get marginalized, or I guess what some people may call scammed in terms of the agreement being put together. It would be a bit more difficult to include Jamaica given for history, especially within the region. But I think it's definitely a possibility once the main stakeholders can get together and come to a consensus.
When it comes to clean energy, what is one way that average Jamaicans can get involved with that?
All right. I think the easiest way right now is through rooftop solar. However, I am very well aware that those technologies tend to be cost prohibitive for the general. I think what people could potentially shift to is community solar, where instead of it being just one roof, or you one bearing the cost to light up your roof, you can work together with people in your community to develop central solar.
Never thought of that.
Central solar, so to speak, and then it feeds into everybody's houses. Instead of the brunt being borne by individual, you can now, all right, so that's how we, and everybody shares. So that's one of the solutions. At the end of the day, it's still expensive. The prices are going down, and there have been several deals there's been several deals I'm seeing online. Is to ask somebody to spend $1 million or $500,000. It's really hard to justify the cost in the moment when there are more pressing issues. So I'm definitely very aware of that. For those who can afford it, rooftop solar is probably the quickest, best bet.
All right. Your research focused on the Caribbean. Did working on it strengthen your desire to return home to be a part of the solution?
I wouldn't say working on it, to be honest.
Okay.
I think it was always going abroad for undergrad. It was always in the plan to come home. And I'm a very plan-oriented individual. If it's in a plan, it's going to happen. That's very strong to say. But you have to walk by faith, not by sight sometimes. And if it's in the plan, it's going to happen. It has. But it was never in my interest to stay abroad. And I think it's less so my research now in my mid-20s. More so, I did attend a science camp in high school called SPICE, which is Student Program for Innovation in Science and Engineering. And their whole objective is to bring talent back to the Caribbean and to keep the intelligence, whatever, in the region so we can pour into it. It may not, for some people, it may not work to actually physically be in the Caribbean, and that goes for more than the SPICE alums, but just the average person. But the whole thing is to give back and to show that we don't have to rely on other people. We have what we need right here, and we can utilize it and we can use it to our advantage. So I think that program was really a core memory growing up. And so I've taken a lot of those pillars and lessons throughout my educational tenure since then. So, and also I had no real interest in most of the jobs available abroad. Because if I stay in the U.S., a lot of them want me to work on U.S. issues, which that's not my expertise for one, and I don't have any passion in doing. And if I don't have any passion in it, I just can't bring myself to do it. I thought I need a break anyways. I've been doing school for 20 odd years of my life nonstop. Let me take a little beat. Let me take a little 6 months because I have the rest of my life to look forward to working. And just, settle down and figure out what my next steps will be.
But still, I'm very impressed though that you had that plan to return home, because most of the persons that I've spoken to, they don't usually come back. They have so much opportunities over there that they just don't.
That's fair. I guess for me, and everyone's situation is different. I definitely came from a...
Worse at Princeton, you go, and the doors open.
Yeah, the doors do open. But I definitely come from a more privileged background. Yeah. So I'm coming back into a very strong support network. Most of my friends didn't go abroad. My parents are very supportive. Yeah. So I'm able to have that time and space to figure it out and settle back down, which I don't think most people probably have. Yeah. On top of that, for me, boy, I'm really not financially driven. Although the opportunities are there, although yes, I can likely make a lot more money than I would in Jamaica or in the Caribbean, there's just a lot more to life for me than that. It's like I need to be comfortable where I don't feel like, I feel like in the US I'm always in a high cortisol stress and I'm tired. Yes. I need rest, I need relaxation, I need my unlimited mangoes, I need the beach. I don't know, I think I'm just an island girl, true and true, and I just need that in my life more so than those other. It's just a trade-off. It's just how I weight it. I like familial support, all of those networks, social circles. Yeah, I don't really have that in the States. It's like, okay, all I do abroad is just work. I don't really leave my house. I don't really do much outside of that. Yes, there's things to do, but okay, if I go to New York, then that's at least $100 out of my pocket just by breathing. It's just a bit, I just don't think the lifestyle, or at least in the places that I've lived in the US, have aligned with me very well. And so I wasn't able to find home over there. So I'm going to just come back to where I know is home.
I have to commend you on that, man. I hardly talk to a young person who said that, boy, money is not a driving.
Because I know, and this is what I mean, I speak very strongly about myself. It may sound cocky, but anything I do, I know I'm going to earn. So I don't need to be abroad to earn.
Good. Yes.
I know it's strong. It's like I believe in myself that much.
Yeah.
To know that whatever I do, I'm going to make it, and I don't need to take traditional paths to do that.
Avery, has coming back to Jamaica confirmed that you made the right decision?
TBD. TBD. To be determined. Oh my gosh, I'm too Gen Z. I'm talking in acronyms.
To an elderly.
To be determined. I would say I've enjoyed being home as a, I'm now here. I got my stuff off the wharf, so I have my things. And I would say, there's been certain opportunities that have just popped up. I do play the harp. Somebody has booked me for a gig in August. I've been able to go out. I've enjoyed reintegrating, so to speak, in the nightlife. Went to some fest. So I've been having a lot of fun. Maybe too much fun. But I'm just here. I'm still in my rest period. Not sure what job I will have in the future. As I said, this is my time to reset, relax. I do think I needed to come home for that. I did need to come home to just have a reset. Will I stay in Jamaica permanently? TBD. TBD. The jury's not yet out on that, because opportunities can take you anywhere in the world these days.
What would you say to other young Jamaicans who are studying abroad and who are thinking about whether they should come back home?
Well, at the end of the day, for me, my advice, do what's best for you. My situation is one thing, everybody else's situation is something else. What I would implore people to do, though, or encourage people to do, is just follow their passions, and just believe in yourself and take risks. Because if not now, then when? If you want to pursue something that's not the most traditional, I know in Jamaica we have a very doctor, lawyer, engineer type mindset. You don't have to be any of those things if it's not for you. If you don't care about it, honestly, my advice, don't do it. Find what your niche is, find what you're passionate about, and work towards that. And people will see your effort and your passion and help you, and invest in you. And so, I think anybody can make it in a life in what they believe is their niche and what speaks to them. And so that's the only thing I would encourage. I would only say, just invest, give back. Give back at the end of the day, because if nobody does, then who will?
All right. Do you want to say thanks to anybody who helped you along the way?
Oh, we're giving big ups.
Yeah, man. Big them up, man.
Okay, I would like to shout out my parents, Dr. Janine Dawkins and Mr. Mark Barnett. They've been very supportive through my educational career, as well as supportive now that I'm back home. Also, the many, many, many teachers at Immaculate that pushed me and, work the system to make me do what I want to do. So like Mrs. McCope, Mrs. Ritchie, Mrs. Edwards, she's an FN teacher. Mrs. Maladi. Like there's just been a lot of, so many different people. If I was supposed to shout out everybody, impossible. At that point, just read the acknowledgements in my dissertation. But all my professors at Grinnell, everyone who has wrote a recommendation for me, everyone who has taken a chance on me, all the people who I was able to interview for my research, who honestly didn't have to agree to do that. So very grateful for all of these different support networks, and of course my friends who've been there, seen me through my highs, my lows, my tears, my crash outs. So, you know, I'm very appreciative for all the different individuals and call it, you know, gears in my life that has kept it moving, kept it pushing.
Yes.
For me to be here today on the other side of my degree and back at home, as according to the plan.
With an extensive list like that, though, Avery, it shows that you really can't do it alone.
No man is an island, you know. We live on an island, but no man is an island. No man is an island, and you know, it takes a village. It truly does take a village. And if you think you can do it alone, you're actually not.
It was great talking to you, Avery.
Yes.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean,
Thank you.
And I just want to wish you all the best. I know you'll be doing a lot more. Right?
We're doing the energy thing now. Just be ready for the next lecture. Sometime, no more degrees. But who, you know, the world is my oyster. The world is our oyster.
Yes.
And so anything can happen.
Okay. Thank you again.
Yes, thanks for having me.